All right, you good to go, dude?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Strength Students Podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve Carty.
I'm your other co-host, Nick Scopoletti, looking
to
my new camera.
Crystal HD.
Fuck you, MacBook. We got new cameras.
Dude, so we stole these cameras.
From Supertraining?
Great.
Sorry, guys.
So, yeah, for those of you who have been fans of the show, been watching, we've been pretty much using my computer, my FaceTime camera to record everything. So this is going to be the first episode that we're upgraded.
And before that, we didn't even have real video.
Let me upgrade you. No, we weren't going to do that? Thought we were going to do that. No?
It's on the show notes.
All right, so on this episode, we are recapping our trip to the ever so legendary
Supertraining Gym
in Sacramento, California. Crazy story. We got invited out by Mark Bell to go do some media work with him. He, if you guys remember episode number 29, Mark Bell, the legendary Mark Bell, was on our show.
Crazy.
Graced us with his presence.
He did.
We kind of got hooked up with him, but I'm going to let you start, man, because you were the one who got this whole thing hooked up. So give us the story about how we got connected with Mark Bell and Supertraining Gym.
I'm at home, masturbating, crying like I usually do after work.
Normal. Yeah. Normal Wednesday night.
Just, usual shit. I was on Instagram Live. I saw Mark Bell was doing an Instagram Live video.
Yeah.
And this is like in February. And I was like, oh, let me hop on there, see what he has. He always, solid info. I was like, let me see what he's up to. So he's talking, whatever. And, Instagram Live, you could chat and talk to people.
Yep.
And I was going to the Arnold. I knew I was. So I wanted to, meet him, see him, and get him on the show. But I was on our Instagram, and I basically said, like, hey, man, you going to be at the Arnold? And he looks and he goes, yes, I'll be at the Arnold. And he saw our name, Strength Student Podcast, and he goes, Strength Student Podcast? He goes, you got a podcast, man? He goes, I'll come on your podcast. The best part was he goes, you're going to keep your podcast all to yourself and not invite me on?
Yeah, I remember you told me that. That's fucking hilarious.
I started laughing. I was like, what the? I was like, what the fuck's going on right now? He's like, this is my email. Gave me the email over the live video, and I was like, all right. So I guess I'm going to email Mark Bell now.
Directly, personally, emailing Mark
emailed
Bell.
Him, hit me back. We were trying to coordinate on dates, and he's like, you know what, man, my schedule's crazy. Here's my cell phone number. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I remember you texted me. You were like, dude, I'm texting Mark Bell right now. I'm like, what are you guys going out on a fucking date?
And the reason why I say that is not to like brag. They're like, yo, Mark Bell gave me his number. It's like I'm a random person he met through Instagram. Like he didn't have to do that. And this will be a reoccurring theme. Like all these dudes we'll talk about are so open. Like, yeah, here, come, let's share ideas.
Crazy. That's cool.
They're very, like he didn't need to do that. I could have been a crazy person. I am secretly, but.
Yeah,
like,
psycho, dude.
So anyway, just coordinating with him, trying to get him on the show. Ended up getting him on the show. Steve, unfortunately, had to go to work that day. We were waiting around.
No, we were waiting.
We had to push it back. Mark forgot he had an elbow appointment. Fuck your elbow appointment, he said.
Fuck your elbow.
Which was funny. So I had to do it solo, which was, fine. So it was a Skyped interview with him, talked to him. And during the podcast, he mentioned he's looking for 2 media guys. And I was like, oh, I'm kind of not one, but Steve is a media guy. I was like, a social media account? So long story short, I told Steve about that. Steve was like, yo, let me get his email. So Steve sent the email, went back and forth, and Mark was pretty vague about what we're going to do. But he basically said, hey, man, if you're willing to just go for it and take a leap. And I was like, yeah, why not? He's like, and the thing that shocked me, I think, the most was, he's like, yeah, we've invited plenty of people out here. They never come. And I was like,
yeah, that's
why not?
Wild. Yeah, that's insane. That's insane.
What do you mean? But anyways, cut to, we're like we booked this trip, and we're like, all right, this is it. We're going. So we filmed a bunch of stuff for on the way out there. We got to post that up on our YouTube. And then, we went to Supertraining Gym, and just got kind of thrown into it first day. They're like, all right.
Yeah, got there like you were saying before, like, you know, they were super vague about what they wanted us to do, which I think, you know, purposefully so, you know. I was sending a bunch of emails like, yeah, but what do you want us to do? Like, what are we doing? What is this? And he was like, hey, man, you just got to take a risk. And I think at the time it was a little frustrating because I was like, you know, what do you want from us? What do you want us to do? Like, we're going out there having no idea what to do.
He's going to rape us, hopefully.
And we get out there, and that's kind of when we got kind of thrown in the fire. And they just gave us some cameras, gave us some social media equipment, just gave us everything. I was like, hey, go get content. You know, see what you got, see how motivated you guys are, and see what's up.
Yeah. So we're out there. We took our flight. Let's see. What was our flight? Like 6:30 in the morning?
Oh, yeah. Super early, you know, couple connectors. I think
Bradley to LAX on the way out. So Bradley to LA. And then LA to Sacramento on a little plane.
And a little tiny plane that could.
The hardest landing ever. And we almost missed our connecting flight. We landed an hour early. It
was like the scene in Home Alone where they're like running through.
Where's
the airport.
Kevin?
Yeah, they're like running through the airport. It's like run, Rudolph. Yeah. That's like what we were doing, except it was warm as fuck. And
the worst part is
we're trying to document everything as we go.
Yeah, the worst part about that was I remember looking at like the layout of LAX, and I'm like, oh, maybe the gate's close by. Nah, you got to take a fucking shuttle to the other gates.
To get on the bus.
It wasn't even like running to a gate. We had to run onto a shuttle, and they had to get us there in time. I was panicking a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So we got there. First thing we did, we walked through the door, and when they were like, "Hey, they're recording with Kelly Starrett and Mount Vincent," and we were like,
"Oh, okay."
Steve wore his San Francisco CrossFit T-shirt.
San Francisco CrossFit
fucking
t-shirt
fanboy, bitch.
Not having any idea. I was just like, I didn't know he'd be here.
Yeah.
And like have his fucking. His fat head.
Like, we really didn't know. Honestly, we really didn't know.
Was dope.
So that was cool. We walk in, we meet everyone in the front. I believe it was like Jess and Fat Dan, and then we went in the back and met Charlie Zamora, who has so much energy.
Yeah, what a crazy dude. He was cool.
He was like the best. So we met him, Filipino Thunder, chilling in like that little dumbbell area in the corner, and we walk in. He's like, "Man, I thought you guys died."
yeah. We got there so late. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
But he was like, I thought you were coming at like 9 a.m. I was like, nah, 1.
But he said it so nonchalant. He was like, man, I thought you guys died.
Yeah.
We were like,
we were really worried.
We were worried. But you're not like upset about it.
He looked fucking nuts.
Weird.
So we just kind of got in, and they're like, yeah, we're recording. Just wait until Mark and them are done. So cool thing, they pulled us into the room while they were powercasting with Kelly Starrett and Matt Vincent.
Fucking unreal. That was so cool.
And we're sitting there and we're watching, and I'm trying my hardest, like, just not to breathe or make any noise.
I snuck a quick pic in there.
Shh. So watching them record, and this was probably like for me, like, you know, we're going to sound like fanboys here and there because let's be honest, like, and I told Mark this, like, those guys that were standing there, they're part of the reason why we're doing this. Like,
I mean, Mark Bell's Powercast, you know, Kelly Starrett's Mobility Wad on YouTube, Barbell Shrugged.
Matt Vincent,
the list goes on. Yeah, Matt Vincent and his blog and everything with Hate Brand. Like, I mean, this is the, you know, we've been following this shit for years. You know what I mean? A couple years now, started with Barbell Shrug, Mark Bell's Powercast. And that was our inspiration for starting this show. So it's like, now us two fucking knuckleheads sitting in the room while all these legends are up there, like, you know, podcasting. It was a crazy experience.
They had some in the combos. I can't wait till that one comes out. But they had some deep combos in that one. Anyways, that was a long one for them. I believe this was like 2 hours. But anyway, we're standing there. And they bring us in the room like, all right, just like don't say anything. I'm like, yeah, all right. So we're just standing there.
Don't say anything, we'll fucking murder you with 45-pound plates.
we're gonna hang you with a slingshot. So we're standing there, and like something came up in the conversation. I kind of zoned out. I was just like taking it all in, and something came up in Mark Bell's conversation with all those dudes. And Mark Bell goes, you know, speaking of taking a leap and just going for it, and I was like. And he like waved us over, and I was like, "No,
this isn't happening right now."
I think I hope I didn't do this, but I feel like I looked at Steve, who was sitting in the chair, and I went, "What the fuck?" And then, like, I was like, "All right." So we walked up there, and we were, you know, they interviewed us for like 2 hours. No, we were on there for like less than 2 minutes. He's like, yeah, these guys taking a leap, just trying to go for it, coming from Connecticut, blah, blah, blah. And then
we were on the fucking Powercast.
And then Steve, you know, insulted and went after Kelly Starrett about showing up for class. Tell that story.
Yeah, so literally a year ago, I went to San Francisco CrossFit to take a CrossFit class. So I was in San Fran. I was like, obviously, I'm going to go to San Fran CrossFit. And, you know, I got to not really talk to, but like meet like Diane Fu, met Rup Ciota, and I wanted to obviously take one of Kelly Starrett's classes. So it was like the next fucking morning. Last morning we were there. It was like an ass crack of dawn class, like 5 a.m. or something like that. I was like, well, that's the only class he's teaching. So I guess I'm waking up super early. So I get up mad early. I'm like, yo, this is going to be dope. I'm going to take class with Kelly Starrett. Like, this is going to be insane. Get all the way there, take an Uber. Takes a whole, like, I'm on the other side of San Fran. Get all the way there. Don't see him anywhere when I get there. And I was like, I had a feeling that this was going to happen. He's a busy dude. He's got a lot going on.
So busy, yeah.
We get there, and one of the other coaches was like, yeah, I'm filling in for Kelly today. He had to go off and do some sort of, like, fucking book signing or whatever. And I was like, you motherfucker. So flash forward to...
Steve's in his room going,
Kelly!
Yeah.
I'm on the top of the Golden Gate Bridge like, wow! So flash forward to a year later, we're in Sacramento. We're getting called onto the Powercast with Kelly Starrett. And I have my San Francisco CrossFit shirt on. And as we're walking up, I'm like, this is it. This is where I get him back. This is where I call him out. I'm getting my fucking moment. Like, you don't get a moment like that. So we're walking on, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to call Kelly Starrett out on fucking live YouTube TV. So we get on, and Kelly Starrett goes, I love the shirt, man. I go, yeah, I got it at your facility last year. I went there to take class with you. It was like super early in the morning, wanted to take your class, and you fucking bailed on me, dude. Didn't show up. It's fucked up.
Dude, my heart sank. I was like,
yeah, and everyone was kind of like, and he goes, yeah, I got people for that. So I was like, yep, you're pretty huge.
and obviously it was all in good fun. We were just fucking around.
Yeah.
We're sarcastic
Obviously.
as fuck.
I don't give a shit.
But it was,
that was hilarious, though.
Dude, it was, that was so funny. So then from there, it was kind of like,
yeah, it was
Mark
point and
was,
shoot, man.
yeah, Mark, I was like, listen, and I told them, I go, I've never held a camera in my life. And they were like, oh. And I was like, yeah, I do the social media. Like, you know, maybe I could have another role, whatever. So I'm taking the gym phone they have for Instagram. I'm filming Mark take Jacob Ross, so Texas Thunder is his name, through like a squat thing. Steve's ripping cameras because that's what he fucking does. And he's, you know, doing his shit. And then we were just talking. It was just like, you know, even Mark came up to us. Like, he knew. He was like, this has got to be weird for you guys, right? We were like, yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Well,
like
intermittent points throughout the, you know, not to be, like we keep saying, not to be too much of fanboys, but, you know, intermittently throughout the whole experience, you know, you're filming shit, I'm filming shit, and we would kind of cross each other in the gym and be like, what the fuck is happening right now? What are we doing? We're at fucking Supertraining. We're fucking filming these guys. Mark Bell's, like, showing us his pictures on his phone. Like, what, you know, this is crazy.
It was very,
and, you know, not to be too, it's less of a starstruck thing and more of like a holy shit, like, we're fucking here doing this crazy thing.
Yeah.
You know, this crazy opportunity. Like, we started this fucking podcast at that point it was 7-8 months ago. Oh, like not even a year yet. You know, and we kept saying the whole time too, like, shit, man, if you asked us when we first started the show. They were like, yeah, man, 8 months in, Mark Bell is going to ask you to come out to Supertraining Gym. We would have been like, he's going to come on your podcast and then ask you to come out to his gym. We would have been like, yeah, after what, like 5 years, 6 years, a couple months in, and we have this amazing opportunity. And, you know, like I was saying, it's not so much of a starstruck thing. It's just more of a holy shit, what an opportunity type thing.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, you see these guys, see what they've done. Like, this is why we started what we started.
Right.
To do our thing.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we were there, and then after day one, he's like, all right, that's it. And he's like, I'll meet you guys maybe for dinner tonight or breakfast tomorrow. And then I was like, all right, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
But it was Matt Vincent's birthday, so they went out.
Yeah.
But they met us.
Aw.
Yeah. We were crying. No, he's like, yeah, tomorrow morning, meet me at this cafe for breakfast. I forget the name of the place. But anyway, him and Matt Vincent show up, and you know, it was about 9 a.m. And again, we are a small podcast with like a couple hundred downloads a week. We have less than 1,000 followers on Instagram. Mark and these guys, like, not that they would, but like, they don't need to spend all this time with us.
What is this? Coach Durrett.
Hold on.
RX Fit Aid.
Is it a coffee Fit Aid?
With creatine.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
All right, focus.
That's Coach Durrett, everybody. You know him. You know him well. You know Coach Durrett very well.
Who is that guy?
We got new cameras, bro.
Take your pants off. Dude, I kind of want some of that. Anyways.
I'll give it to you.
Anyways, so we're doing that. They met us, you know, at the cafe that morning. We're having breakfast, and you know, Mark was, you know, we're there to work for him. Like we were essentially there to like
to work, yeah,
to
try
work,
out for a job.
it
It wasn't like, hey, come out, we'll be buddies and train and like, you know, swap stories. It's like,
No.
you're gonna come out and have a chance to work for us for free.
Right. So he basically straight up told us we're sitting down, and he was like, "Hey, let me see your YouTube channel. How do you guys record it?" And he was like, "You guys need cameras." Cut to
yeah.
He's like, "So how do you guys record your thing?" And I was like, "We have a Mac and an iPhone." And he was like, "Yeah, man, like you're gonna need a camera."
Literally, right when we got on the plane to come back to Connecticut, we were like, "We gotta get fucking phones. Or, we gotta get fucking cameras, man."
Steve started looking immediately, but you know they were very cool. They were awesome. They just Mark spent from 9 a.m. till almost like what 2 p.m. with
Dude,
us
all day, man. I mean, you know, given they were doing shit. It seemed like they were doing other stuff. But
Matt Vince was being
kind of be in their presence and, you know, just talk to. So this was one of the cool things. Like, at one point, you know, we were literally just me, you, and Mark Bell in a room, like no one else around, no phones, no nothing, and we were just like chatting shit up. That was a good half an hour, you know. And the whole time I was thinking, like, you know, how many people, whether it be professionals or just athletes, whatever. How many people would love to get a half hour alone in a room with Mark Bell?
Right.
And here we fucking are, like getting one-on-one time with this. This is not a YouTube video he's shooting. This is not a fucking seminar he's giving. This is literally him just shooting the shit with us.
And he was, the coolest thing was, like, we were there to work for him, but he was also giving us advice on what we need to do to grow our own
He didn't have
thing.
to do that. He doesn't have to do any of that.
These are all things he does not have to do. Like, you don't fucking have to do that, but he did. And then after, when he sat down and was like talking about the job, then he was like, all right, this is what I want. This is what I expect.
Right.
Which, you know, was, again, super cool. And then we were chilling outside, waiting for our Uber. He waited with us, which I was like, why is he chilling with us right now? And then I realized, he waited for us to get our Uber. That was cool.
Yeah, right. That was dope. But all in all, I mean, just the whole weekend as a whole, like, you know, for us, it was kind of a fun little experience and amazing learning experience, but even more of a fan experience too, to be honest, for us. But like, to be honest, it just really speaks to the character of, you know, people like Mark Bell, Matt Vincent. You know, these are dudes who are here in the game. You know, they're at the top of the game, and we're at the bottom. I mean, let's be honest. Like, it's not in a bad way. It's not a self knock. We just started. We just started.
I'm well aware of where we are.
We just started. So it's like, for him to be like, come out here, I will talk to you and give you advice, but also you will work for me and gain experience. And it was incredible. It spoke to his character, not only to come onto our show, be on our show with us, but just to have us out there. And you know, I think at first, when we first got there, I was like, all right, well, we're not even going to really see Mark. Like, we're going to probably talk to everyone else, and he's probably busy. He's probably going to not really, you know, deal with us too much, or, you know, maybe we'll meet with him once. I mean, we were with him for the majority of the time we were there.
Yeah.
And he spent like genuine time with us, which was cool. So definitely spoke to them. And, you know, lucky, I don't even think we knew Matt Vincent was going to be there too. And he was just, he's a fucking
and he's
bro,
I mean,
he's a bro. He's a good dude.
Yeah, man. He's one of,
thank you, Matt. Got your shit, man. Yeah.
I need to get some of that.
And the super training. Super training camo.
Steve's fanboying hard right now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had to for this episode.
No, they got good gear. I just bought a slingshot V-neck. Anyways.
Shit's tight.
Yeah, so that day we just kind of shot stuff. It was Matt Vincent's birthday. And
yeah, right.
Which was hilarious. And they got him, since he's keto, they got him an In-N-Out burger. No bun.
Hilarious.
Mark was, you know, they were just working out, and we were just filming shit. I was talking to people because I don't know how to film anything. So I was talking to people, seeing what they were doing. And then they kind of gave us an assignment a little bit. Steve, that was pretty much all you. I just picked the clips for you, and you did them. So if you want to explain, like, kind of what you did for them, or are we allowed to? Is that like illegal?
Let's do this. Let's take a break.
All right,
we'll break it here, and then when we get back, we'll talk about all the shit we learned, you know, our advice based off of our experience and all that. So we're going to take a quick break, be right back. And when we get back, we'll still be in HD, yo.
Oh, God. You're obsessed.
Want more of the Strength Students podcast? Go check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, make sure you leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and on Stitcher. Stitcher, I just met her.
Dope.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. Second half here. We're talking about our trip out to Supertraining Gym in Sacramento, California with Mark Bell and friends.
That could be a good cartoon.
So we, you know, the two guys we mainly worked with out there were Chris and Andrew. They're two media guys, right? Mm-hmm. Chris, I remember Chris's name, Chris Griffin. Not a hard name to forget.
Andrew Zamora
and Chris Griffin. Chris Griffin, not from Family Guy.
I'm sure he's going to appreciate that.
Yeah. Those are our two dudes, man. They showed us the ropes. And, if we learned a lot from Mark and Matt Vincent and the whole gang. But, media-wise from those two dudes, I mean, they were like pretty much our teachers, our senseis, if you will.
They were media ninjas.
Yeah, man.
And they were cool as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
So
from
cool.
a video perspective, video and photography perspective, they're both, on point. Andrew, a little more photography. He's a fucking photography wizard. And Chris is a little more video. He's just like, video guru. So, we worked closely with those guys, and they were amazing, man. And we couldn't thank them enough, like, for all their help and support. Yeah. They even gave us their numbers, and we've been talking, questions about like media and stuff. So they were awesome dudes.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess basically we just wanted to talk the second half here, just talk about like kind of what we learned. Like we said, we're in the infantile stages of this podcast, and it was like we were like a Sunday beer league softball, slow pitch softball team going to work with the Yankees. That's kind of what it was like.
Yeah,
like picture like you and your friends in your Sunday softball league, and you're just drunk, you're like, and then the Yankees are like, "This is so fun.
I rocked in high school."
Yeah. You gained 50 pounds though. And then the Yankees are like, "Yo, why don't you like come play real baseball?" And they're like, "Oh, all right."
Oh, word.
So we just got to see like, their downloads per week and learn from these dudes and talk to Jim McD, who's also so cool as well. Mm-hmm. We learned a lot. One thing that I took away from it, and maybe we could like each do one here, Steve. The biggest thing for me is like
our top takeaways.
Top takeaways for me was probably Mark. So the second day, this is what hit me. Like spent all day with him. This is the day we spent all day, and he's funny. He's joking around. He's talking about serious stuff, business, and this, and what he did, and what we should do, and he's going on and on and on. And he's funny, and he's like, "All right, guys, yeah, see ya." And then we went back to the gym, and as soon as he walked into super training, he looked like a different person. Like,
oh yeah, he was
like it was like a fucking like a light switch went
just
off.
Savage
he was ready
mode.
ready to train. Like no more smiling or joking.
Rock, man, yeah.
He was thinking of like I'm sure it looked like his wheels were turning. Like he was like, "What could I do with Matt Vincent? It's his birthday," And they did that they did a bunch of fucking curls on the deadlift rack, and he did that was mad funny. Watching that, and it was just like a fucking. And I was like, all right, like he has like the funny sense of humor. We have very similar sense of humors. Like all of us, we were making gay jokes and all that shit, right? When it was business time, and he just it was it was cool to see, and it was like a light switch went off, and it was like, all right,
yeah,
like look at this guy. This is how.
Yeah, it's not all just like fuckery and
right. That's how like you'll see him on YouTube, and you're like, this guy curses a lot. He makes gay jokes. How is this guy a million? Like, dude, They all do.
They're hustlers over there, man.
Work so hard.
Yeah.
And that was another thing, too. They talked about, like, everyone's role there, and they're like, you do whatever you got to do to support the team.
Yeah,
It's not like, this is only your job, and it's like,
there's no job
if you ask someone to do something, like, that's not my job. That I feel like that doesn't happen there.
Right.
They're all in, and they're all, want to do their own thing. So,
Yo, Civ. What's up, dog? Yeah, dude, you're in. You just got in, dude. You're a little blurry, but...
You're our guest now. But, what was your top takeaway, Steve?
Dude, my biggest takeaway, honestly, was being in the house of the real thing. You know what I mean? Not to say that our show isn't the real thing.
We're getting there.
But, we as beginners got to go to a place where they're not beginners there. They're experts. They're doing it. So to go to their house and see, okay, what we're trying to do, this is how it's done. That's invaluable. You know what I mean? And I think to what you were saying, to me, I didn't look at it as everyone was like working hard. I just looked at it as like, everyone was working like just with so much passion. Like I was like, look at these guys' lives, man. Their lives are just train hard as fuck. Get the apparel going, keep the gym going, keep the media going, keep all the YouTube going. Like
go to the warehouse if you gotta.
It's almost like it's not work though. It's just their passion, man. Like that's their life. Like this is not it's not like a 9 to 5. You know, it's not a desk job. It's not a cubicle job. You're not working for someone else. Like, these guys are literally in their passion. And, you know, I think what a lot of people may think is, oh, well, you know, someone who has a passion project or works and their job is their passion, they're just fucking around all day. And it may look like that on, you know, if you go to Supertraining's YouTube, it may appear that way, you know, fun videos, all that. It's not though, man. These guys are grinding, man. But it's not. But it's not thinking. It's not grinding like, oh man, like I'm so worn out. Like, man, this sucks. Like this is fun shit, man.
I didn't eat basically there for 2 days, and I was just like lit up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
it's just
wired
fun
as fuck, and you're just like, we're passionate about it. You see their passion, and that ignites you, and you're just like, yes.
Yeah.
Like it's easy to like. That's why they built it. Like Mark Bell didn't try to like become a finance guy. He knew lifting, and he ran with it.
Fucking working
and look
for himself. Man.
That's what I'm saying. But look how it happened. You go with what you know,
dude. These people are the epitome of follow and chase your passion and just do what makes you happy, you know?
Yeah.
I had a great conversation with Kevin Doyle the other day, episode number something and something.
6 and 20 something.
6 and 20 something. Whatever. But you know, you guys
see him tomorrow.
Know Coach Doyle. Yeah. I had a great conversation with him the other day. I've been going through a lot of stuff lately with you know, just everything going on in my life. You know, I had so much shit going on. I'm being pulled in so many different directions, and I'm getting to the boiling point. And he was like, dude, what do you want to do every day? And I was like, honestly, I want to coach, train CrossFit, coach and train people, and do my podcast every day, do media for that. He's like, then why aren't you just doing that? And I'm like, you're fucking right, dude. Like whether it's, and my thing is it's uncomfortable because, you know, I don't know what that means. It's not a steady paycheck. It's not a comfortable thing. It's uncomfortable, right? But if you want to do what you want to do, and you want to do what you enjoy to do, and you want to do what's fun for you every day, it's not going to be comfortable. At least at the beginning, too. It's not going to be comfortable.
It wasn't, I don't know how you feel, but for me, when we first started this, it wasn't at all. I was like, but I knew I was so happy doing it and I loved it. Right. That like, I was like, oh, I'm cool being broke.
But I think for the first year, like, let's be honest, for the first year for us, it was like, yeah, we're like doing this because it's fun and like, but we don't want to like dip too hard into it yet. And like, as we gone on, it's like, well, what do we do with this thing? And then like, we go to super training, we see what the deal is, we get back and we're like, this is the fucking jam, dude. This is it. Like content, training, like this is what we love to do. This is fun. So
yeah, I personally felt that way for like, you know, one thing I want to do, I didn't tell Steve this, but I want to make a YouTube video describing why we, like what we were doing before and why we started this.
Uh-huh.
What?
I don't know.
It's all right. But I mean, I was all in, man. Like it just, but yeah, super training. Like Mark's like, hey, gotta do your YouTube, man, because we weren't doing shit on YouTube. Let's face it, like we weren't.
Well, we had the show on there, but other than that,
no, that's what I'm saying. So now it's like it's reignited, and we're like, yeah, man, this is it. Like if you know, like it does, like it's basically, you know, that question that people always have posed, like, do you want to make a shit ton of money and not be happy, or do you want to like make a fair amount and like and do what you're happy about? Yeah. But like, let's be open and honest. We make zero money doing this. This is all investment.
Well, yeah,
none. Paid for our way to super training, paid for our way to Miami. I paid for myself to go to the Arnold, Wadapalooza. It's all paying because we just want to do this.
Yeah, because it's fun. It's fun as fuck, man. I don't want to do anything.
This is one of the better years of my life.
Training and media, podcast, all that shit. Like all the shit surrounding what we do. Like it's what I love to do. It's what you fucking love to do. And there's gonna be a lot more shit coming. You know, slow and steady. You know, we're getting there, but a lot more shit coming. So it's gonna be fun. All right, man. Anything else?
That's it, man.
36 episodes in, man. It's crazy. Getting there.
That's how old I am.
We're doing it.
Kidding. 29.
69 years old. Don't forget to check us out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to our page. Check us out on iTunes and Stitcher. Go ahead. Give us a 5-star review there. Leave some comments, some feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys. And check out all of our social media, which is Strength Students Podcast on Instagram, on Facebook. What's the deal with Twitter? Are we still doing that or no? Yeah. Twitter's kind of dying. So
no, it's busy. It's just I feel like our efforts should be put into YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook.
True.
But I do some tweets here and there.
True change.
It's kind of like I unload. Like, oh, here's 7 things we did this week. I'm just gonna tweet them all now.
Right.
Okay. So.
And then also, you know, in spirit of this episode, huge thank you to Mark Bell. Supertraining Gym, Matt Vincent, Andrew, Chris, Jim McD, everyone out there who was just like so fucking awesome to us. I think for them it was like a couple media guys are here, it's probably cool for them, but like I don't know if you guys will ever know how amazing and life-changing that experience was for two dudes who are just trying to make it in the strength and conditioning industry. So thank you to you guys. You guys are fucking awesome, and I'll rep your gear for life.
Same.
All right, guys, that wraps it up. Catch us next episode.
Peace. I'm at 29% on my camera, by the way.
Word, you're fucking... Oh, my God, I'm at 69%. Yes.
Oh, Jesus.